So, it has officially been a week since the Switch 2 Direct, and a lot has gone on. So this is just going to be kind of like a recap of everything that's happened since my last video. So let's jump right into the price of the Switch 2. So apparently, and this is not, I don't know if this is 100% right now, but allegedly, the United States has lowered tariffs on Vietnam, which is where the Switch 2's production is, which is leading me to believe, and a lot of others to believe, that the Switch 2's set price at $450 US will remain. So it will not go up to some crazy number. And I'm so hyped. I'm actually so hyped about that because a lot of y'all are American. And, I mean, it affects a lot of people. Even if you're not in America, if the tariffs are that high and the cost of the Switch 2 is that high. I did say it would kill the console if it was priced that much. It would kill the console in the US. We can all agree on that because that's just a crazy price to pay. But, yeah, a lot of Nintendo's manufacturing of the Switch 2 is in Vietnam, which has, at least my understanding, there is a 90-day pause on all tariffs aside from China, which we are not going to get into because I am not a political channel. But yeah, for those that were curious, yes, the Switch 2 will likely be priced at $450 US. There will not be some crazy price hike unless if something happens. I mean, the situation in the US is very fluid. We never know what's going to happen at a given moment. I mean, I've been living with that in Canada for, since February at this point. So we don't really know what 100% the deal is, but if the tariffs are no longer as big a deal in Vietnam, then we shouldn't have any issues. So the US should see the Nintendo Switch 2 remain at $450. So if there are any Americans that were planning to travel to Canada to pre-order a Switch, please don't. I want to get one day one. Please do not come over here. Okay, let's move on to some of the other bits of news. Nintendo did an interview and confirmed that they will not be having in-game achievements. I mean, system-wide achievements, which, I gotta be real, that's a freaking blow, bro. I want achievements, god damn it. It's just, Nintendo, bro. Every single time, it's quality of life, it's basic, it's like, collect a coin in Super Mario Odyssey. Why can't we get an achievement for that, bro? You just got rid of gold points. And Xbox has this like thing called gamer score. You can use those points to buy stuff. Why doesn't Nintendo make a system like that? They've got platinum points. They had gold points. They got rid of it. That made me think that we were gonna get achievements. I forgot to frickin' bring it up in a predictions video, but yeah, it's just not happening. It's literally just not happening, and that is stupid. I'm just gonna put that out there. That is very stupid why Nintendo has chosen not to do achievements. Another thing, eShop music. A lot of people were like, are we gonna get eShop music? Because we're getting voice chat, we're getting a lot of other quality of life improvements. And nope, it's just gonna be the same thing, except not orange, it's gonna be red, the main color. And honestly, the Switch 2's eShop looks more bland than the frickin' Switch 1's. I gotta be real, it just looks boring. I don't know what to say, bro. Like, and here's the home screen, by the way. If you haven't seen the actual home screen for the Switch 2, this is allegedly what it's gonna be. I don't know what some of these buttons are. I know the C button's obviously for the game chat and all that. And one of the buttons is for the virtual game cards. But if someone knows, please put them in the comments. I haven't been able to figure it out, especially those green ones there. But yeah, no frickin', we got no achievements, we have no in-game music, no eShop music. It's a lot more boring stuff from Nintendo. So let's have a chat about the sort of like the future. Now that we know that the price probably isn't going to be marked up in the US, which is a massive deal. May I add, it is a massive win for every Nintendo fan. We should probably discuss the actual prices itself. Now that we have at least a little bit of a guarantee that, hey, 450 is probably going to stay, and the $80 games are probably going to stay. This is going to be controversial. I think people are over embellishing the prices. We made a video recently about the inflation being the reason that Nintendo prices it this way, and to my knowledge, I think that is still accurate. I'm not super savvy in that in the business sector in terms of like inflation and whatnot, but it did seem convincing to me why Nintendo is selling this at a higher rate. It isn't necessarily because the game is better. It's more so to do with inflation and the fact that $60 in 2017 is now $80 in in 2025. It's not fun to hear that things are going to get more expensive, and I don't think Nintendo has actually said it's due to inflation, because how many people are going to like actually understand that part of it, which I don't know. Leave your opinions in the comments below, but like honestly, there's a lot going on, and it has been, again, very massive week for Nintendo as a whole, and there's been so very many just freaking news things, bro. There's been so much news to go over. It's genuinely insane. Another thing is the Nintendo Switch 2 edition titles. Those are $80 as well. I think it's got the expansion pack in it. I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, I'm not buying the Jamboree. That's the only one I would actually consider buying. Mario Party Jamboree is fine on its own, and plus the expansion pass doesn't actually give you any sort of like any benefits other than you got to buy the $50 camera, you got to do all this other crap. It's just like, it's not worth buying that upgrade, bro. Jamboree TV is not worth that much, let alone all that other garbage. And just talk about the Switch 2 camera in general. Genuinely, like, what is this, bro? What is this? I actually don't understand what's going on. Apparently, Nintendo Switch 2 camera is 1080p, and there is a Piranha Plant Switch 2 camera, which is 480p, developed by Hori. I'm not buying any of the camera. I'm curious to see the sales for that. Honestly, I'm curious to see the sales for the Nintendo Switch 2 camera. If anyone is going to buy it, let me know. Like, I'm actually quite curious. But probably the biggest news in terms of like Canada, where I'm at, is that Nintendo decided to delay Switch 2 pre-orders over here as well to better align with the release of the US Switch 2 pre-orders. Which, you know what, at first I was very bummed about. I'm not gonna lie, I was very bummed about, because I had actually called GameStop literally yesterday morning asking them like, hey, are you guys doing Switch 2 pre-orders? And then it had actually been confirmed that they had been delayed for about an hour. And then I didn't know. I actually just did not know. And it was kind of surreal to get that confirmation over the phone, talking to GameStop in general, which is just, it's so weird. This entire week has been the weirdest I've ever felt when it comes to just being a Nintendo fan. Like, I've never made videos like this. I've never had to associate politics, tariffs, for God's sake, with Nintendo. It's just the weirdest thing, but that's just the state of the world right now, and that's the state of gaming, actually. We have to deal with this, because PlayStation also, I mean, if you didn't hear, PlayStation's made a survey talking about Switch 2. It is just a wild situation, and I don't blame you guys if you just don't want to follow it, because there's just so much crap that has been going on. And I mean, there's been so many different opinions going around. There's a lot of other, I mean, I've watched so many videos with other content creators just bashing Nintendo and all of that. And you know what? To an extent, I agree. I don't believe, I mean, even with the $80 price tag, like, that is so hard to stomach. Even due to inflation, like, Nintendo's a $1 billion company, and I'm pretty sure that they can take the fall for at least a little tiny bit with their Switch 2 prices, especially with the games. The price of the console, I highly support. I don't think that is a bad thing. It's just it's expensive for Nintendo, which is why I think a lot of people are getting all up in arms about it. But there's been so many interviews and things like with Doug Bowser and whatnot. I'm not going to get into that, because it's just a lot of what you've heard already. It's Nintendo's PR answers, And that's really it. And I don't really think I need to regurgitate that back to you. If you want to go check that out, then just Google Doug Bowser interview or something. But again, so much garbage that has happened, man. And there's consistent talk about everything Nintendo Switch 2. And I guess highlighting back to the tariffs, which is probably the biggest point of contention right now, is the price. The price, could it still go up? Maybe. I don't know. The administration in the US has been very, they're like, it's hard to express, bro. It's actually hard to explain because I don't want to get political, but it's been the situation's been very, very fluid. It's hard to keep track of, which I believe is a fair statement. So is that Hallie? How did Hallie know I was here? I didn't tell anybody. Anyways, it's just very strange with how things have been unraveling. Again, never had this issue. With the Switch 1, it was legit just like, oh, here we go. It's Nintendo console coming out March 3rd, and there's no hikes in the price. No one was complaining about anything with the original Switch, unless, I mean, except like faulty hardware, which is kind of followed that. Oh, yeah, okay, one last topic. We gotta talk about Nintendo Switch 2's Joy-Cons. And the fact that they're not using the hologram, whatever the hell they're called, the sticks that actually make them drift-proof. Why? Why is Nintendo not doing that? I don't understand. So basically, I think there's some sort of joystick type that they could have used to pretty much get rid of the Joy-Con drift issue, which if you haven't had it yet, then I am very envious of you, and every other person is envious because I have so many Joy-Cons. I had to send like 6 of them to Nintendo to get repaired, which if you didn't know, you can get them repaired for free, given like how many lawsuits Nintendo's been, you know, thrown. But the Joy-Con drift issue, I am very worried will affect the Switch 2, and even the Pro controllers have had some issues, I've heard. The Switch 1 Pro controllers have had some issues. So it would be nice if Nintendo, they keep talking about how they designed the thing from the ground up, which we will see if they are more faulty or if they are less. I am hoping they are less because this console is infinitely more expensive and all of that. And I guess the last thing we'll touch on, we are officially, I mean, by the time you guys are probably watching this, we are about officially a week out from the Mario Kart World Direct, which is very exciting. I mean, I'm very excited for it. We will be streaming it on the channel. If you want to stay up to date, then make sure you subscribe and do all of that. We will be covering it live as it happens. But I feel a lot of people have been underwhelmed with Nintendo's showing of Mario Kart World thus far. And I mean, I was excited for it the entire time, but a lot of people seem to have kind of just been a little underwhelmed, which, you know what? Understandable to an extent, but I tell you, wait until Thursday next week, April 17th. It is going to be a banger. I have full faith in Nintendo that if they're going to charge this much for Mario Kart World, then they must have something up their sleeve. Maybe a mission mode. That would be so dope. That would be so dope if we had like a mission mode where you drive around the map and you gotta do missions and whatnot. It would be pretty dope. It'd be pretty dope. But yeah, that'll be it for this one. Thank you guys again for watching all these Switch 2 videos. Like, it's been really hard to keep up with all of these and whatnot, but we are trying to keep it on the channel for you guys. Yeah, if you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.